We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Takeover Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. If this is your first time joining us, let me just take a minute to explain what this segment's about. It's about connecting community, business owners, learning about business owners' stories, and how we can help each other and just network and progress and hopefully become customers and maybe learn something. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Manushkka. Welcome, Manushkka.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Congratulations on this podcast, Jess. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. It's been going really well. It's exciting. I just love talking to people I've known for years, new people. It's been a wonderful experience. So yes. And me and you go way, 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 way back. So I'm just going to warn the audience, and we're going to try to stay on track and not go off into some different stories and tangents, but I'm going to warn you right now. Yeah, that might be really hard because we have a lot of fun times and stories and yeah, we go way back. So this is the owner of Chubby Curls, Manushkka Sainvil, and let's just jump right in, Manushkka. So give us a bit of your background and take us wherever you want to go with it.
Okay, so I am a proud born and bred Queens girl from Queens, New York. I am Haitian. My parents are both from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and I was actually born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, and then moved to South Florida as a teenager. And met my counsel, my hearts, my best friends in Florida throughout my high school and college years. And I got to represent my Gators. Go Gators! University of Florida, proud Gator here. So I then decided to work for the airlines, worked for Delta Airlines for some time. So I have the flight attendant mannerisms down. And then I went back to school and decided to pursue another degree. And so the first degree was in history. I'm a history buff, love storytelling and love history. And then I went to meteorology. I studied meteorology at Penn State University. And then I moved to Denver after having graduated from Penn State. And man plans, God laughs, because I moved here because of my newly minted meteorology degree, thinking I'm gonna come here and work in weather. Girl asked me if I ever set foot in any kind of meteorological job. So it's just kind of funny how things happen, but I love where I am. I'm thrilled with what I'm doing. I do work full time, but in the meantime, I'm so happy that I have fostered my entrepreneurial spirit and have discovered what it takes to run a business, to start a business. I'm learning from my colleagues, from friends, from other business owners, people like yourself every day. And I've been really feeling the love and support from the community here has been outstanding. I would be remiss if I did not mention Brother Jeff, who is always down for the cause. He is always supporting us business owners, small, medium, micro, big, doesn't matter. Brother Jeff is definitely like the treasure of Denver because he's such a great support.
Wow, I have so many things to say about everything you just said. First and foremost, as her friend, it's fun. Look, I got to go back to the weather real quick, just for a second.
Okay.
It's so fun to see the weather nerd in Manushkka come out, and she over the years she's given me some really cool facts and information about weather. So if we have time at the end, who knows? Maybe you could share a few.
Okay.
Because I know you still love it. And first, can I just say that I also am so proud of you. I remember in your apartment in Denver when you were first starting out, just whipping up concoctions and mixing, and Manushkka is very social that don't know her, but this is probably the first time where normally, she is always with me and her, she'd always be down for a hike or to come visit or me come over. This is the first time that I actually saw you like in the house, door closed, working on some kind of magic potion. So tell us about that time period.
So I would say, so my alarm just went off and I just had to disarm it. You know what? The wonders of modern technology. You gotta love it. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Like it went off like siren blaring. So
That's
sorry
what,
about
I
that.
didn't even hear it.
Oh, okay, good, good. So I was in an interesting place in my natural hair journey, and I just want to make sure that I've got the question. Basically, like what started this whole thing, right? What started Chubby Curls?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yes. So I was in this really interesting place in my natural hair journey, and I went natural in 2005, and it was July 4th weekend of 2005. And I had moved to Denver in 2014. So I've been about 9 years now. Sorry, I moved to Denver in 2009. Timeline was off. So natural in 2005, Denver in 2009, and went and I began thinking about this about a product that would be a go-to. I must have this whenever I do my hair, clutch product. And I remember talking to my friend, so Bianca, if you are watching, Bianca Williams, then I have to give you a shout out as well. I remember talking to Bianca one day in my apartment and saying to her, I had been pulling my hair back in a bun every day, and I just didn't have any styling options. I just didn't have any versatility. I wanted to have fun with my hair. And even though I had been natural for quite some time, I had a lot more hair. It was thicker, it was healthier, but I just didn't really, I couldn't style it because the styling options that you can do as a natural woman, you can probably achieve the same styles with relaxed hair. You just have to go about it a different way. So all that to say, I told Bianca, listen, if I don't figure out a way to do my hair that does not involve slicking it back, because I had left bun and right bun. That was my hair game. Like I had no hair game. It was just, workouts, work, weddings, it didn't matter. I was always in a bun. And so she said, check out YouTube. End of story. Like the genie was out of the bottle. Once I got down the YouTube rabbit hole and was seeing all of these different styles and techniques and just really cool, techniques to style natural hair, I was picking up all of the products that each YouTube influencer would recommend, which is fine and well. Everyone has their thing. But for me, I just didn't feel like, I felt like there was this disconnect. I was suffering from what I call like day two letdown. So like the first day I styled my hair, it would be really cute. And then by the second day, definitely the third day, it just was kind of limp. It just didn't have that, it didn't have that luster. It really didn't hold style well. So I started noticing, I started reading the ingredients and seeing that there was a disconnect between what's written on the package with the sleek marketing versus what is really in the product. And if you understand the way ingredients are listed, they're listed in abundance. So if it's got water at the top of the list, then great. Water is obviously the number one ingredient you want to have because our hair requires a lot of moisture. But then you start to get into other ingredients that are cheap fillers that dry our hair out, and this can be another conversation. But I began to realize that maybe the shea butter that they had been saying, this product contains, or this product is full of, shea butter might be in the middle or at the bottom of the list. And so I realized all of these call outs, they're not lying in saying that, yes, this product contains shea butter or argan oil or maru butter or, whatever. But then I realized, okay, well, this ingredient is actually in the middle of the list or at the bottom of the list, which essentially means that there is not a lot of that ingredient in this particular product. It's blended in with a combination of other things. So what that taught me was that, okay, let me go ahead and source the ingredients that I want, the ingredients that I know are beneficial to my hair, go straight to the source and take those and just mix. I started mixing, I started blending. I did a lot of research and learned how to kind of become a mixologist, if you will. So I used that information, did a lot of research, and for me, it was a fun process. For me, it was like Christmas almost every day in the formulation of a product, because you mix it, then you let it sit, and then the next day you're like, oh my gosh, did it work? Did it work? So for me, it was a really fun process because it was like waking up like a kid at Christmas to see if it worked. And there were a lot of formulations that did not work. Girl, I stunk up my apartment for 3 days once with an ingredient that was clearly not in Chubby Curls, but it was pretty funny. It just made my apartment smell so bad. And I thought, okay, this cannot be in it. But eventually I did land on a formulation that I was really happy with, and I was able to share with my closest friends because their hair textures really cover a good broad spectrum. So I was able to share it with them, get their feedback, and then land on something that was like a good middle ground, because I know that Chubby Curls can't be all things to all people, but I certainly wanted to try to make it work for as many women as I could.
I love that you spoke to the process, because what I heard you say is that it's a process. Like you mentioned research, and I love how you emphasize research, because that's no joke. I know that takes a lot of time. You mentioned just loving everything that you were doing and trial and error, and those are all part of the entrepreneur process. So to me, you speak to like the trials and tribulations and also the joy and fun that comes with all of those trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
Would
Yeah,
you say,
absolutely.
tell us about the toughest part of coming up with your formula, and how did you overcome that trial?
Ooh. Um, yeah, the toughest part of the formula was, I would say, probably creating a combination that was odor neutral, so that when I did add a fragrance, so it didn't overpower when I did add the fragrance. That's something that's really, really tricky. And that is, for example, why I like to differentiate the product. I mean, that's important. And it's not shea to shea butter, but I did want to differentiate Chubby Curls in using mango butter as the base, because I mean, well, number one, mangoes. I love mangoes, so that's just me. But also, mango butter versus shea butter, I realized that mango butter has a lot of the same fantastic moisturizing properties as shea butter, but it didn't have that very intense odor. And then it didn't require me to buy like a super refined mango butter, which in the refining process, you lose a lot of the nutrients. It doesn't make it ineffective, it doesn't render it ineffective, but it does remove some of the nutrients that, gives it the great moisturizing qualities. So I would say probably landing on that like sweet spot. And also with the consistency, my first question was, do I want something that's going to be in a jar, shameless plug, or do I want something that's going to be in a bottle? And that was my question for my very first product, which is the styling cream. So I decided, okay, with all of these, twist outs that I'm doing and all of these different curly styles, it seemed like a creamier hair butter texture was most effective. And so that was why I decided, okay, let me start with a cream, a twisting butter type texture that would work for those kinds of styles. So funny story, and Tarina Smith, a good friend of mine, she was helping me at Juneteenth one year. And that was the year that I learned that despite it being like a heavier, creamier consistency, Chubby Curls does not do well in extreme temperatures. So guess what happened at my Juneteenth booth outside in the 95-degree day of Denver? All of my product melted. It was comical. It was a lesson. It was part of the process. It's part of the journey. I mean, that was probably a year and a half into it. But it was something that I learned, that I realized, okay, that is a quality of the product in extreme heat. But I was okay with it being a little more sensitive to higher temperatures, because many of the fillers and the stabilizers that are used in order to allow a product to stay the same exact texture, the same exact consistency from the warehouse to the retailer, whether it's 20 degrees below zero or if it's 95 degrees, those stabilizers allow it to stay the same, but it renders the product less effective. It's not as moisturizing. So that's a space that I don't mind occupying when it comes to the styling cream.
That's a great point. So it's like at Juneteenth, you learned that was the downfall, but it actually became a positive of your product.
Right. And again, it's something that differentiates Chubby Curls from a lot of other products.
Well, I have to go back to the scent. So I am a user of Chubby Curls. It's in my household. It is a staple in my household. And coconut is my favorite.
Yeah.
The smell is what makes it. Can I just say? I mean, of course, the product's amazing, but the smell, every time I open that jar, it's like, yay, I'm in heaven. And my hair's in heaven too. So I just have to say the smell is amazing and part of what I love about Chubby Curls myself.
Thank you, thank you. And it's funny because my so I have another friend, Rachel, who is part of my core group, and she said a man once stopped her on the street and was like, "What perfume are you wearing?" And it turned out that it was the Chubby Curls, the coconut fragrance.
Yes, that is my fave. And I here I am selling your product. She does have the unscented for those of you who don't want that, just FYI.
Yes, I do have a fragrance free because I know that there are some women that are sensitive to, these fragrances. So I do have customers that purchase the fragrance free on a regular basis.
So you spoke a little bit earlier about your inspiration, just wanting to find a product that could fit your needs. Can you speak to, you've told me this story, but I don't know if I don't think you mentioned it here, about the climate in Denver and you coming from another place, coming from Florida, and how that shifted.
Yes. So the aha moment for me was washing my hair one day in the shower, and I really should say fighting with it, because I had this regimen. It wasn't a regimen. I'm not being accurate here. I washed my hair, and I noticed that the way that my hair looked and felt when I began the shower and began washing it, it was very different at the end of the shower. And so I take long showers. Showering is a religion to me. I love my long hot showers. That's like one of my vices. But so when I wash my hair, it takes a while to detangle. So I'm very careful about. I'm very aware of taking time to detangle it, to avoid pulling and snatching. So when I finished it, my curls were luscious and they were juicy and they just looked so good. Just the natural curl pattern was really beautiful. And I realized, okay, why can't my hair look like this all the time? Well, okay, my hair loves water. So this is the only thing that, is different from when I'm outside the shower, is that, my hair is saturated with water. So that was like the linchpin moment where I realized, okay, so then I need to be finding products that are really, really good with moisture, help with moisture retention. So the climate, moving here from Florida, literally from sea level, coming to, a mile high, I was aware of, having to acclimate to the oxygen. And yes, that it's drier, but I wasn't thinking about what it was doing to my hair. So that really was that linchpin moment again, that aha moment where I thought, okay, my hair loves water, so I need to find products that will keep it not wet, but moisturized. And I went through a stage, I mean, I'm sure a lot of naturals can relate to this, where I was using very heavy gels, and I was walking around kind of goopy, and you gotta like elongate your neck so your hair can kind of try to dry, because you want it to air dry, or maybe you use a diffuser. But I was walking around goopy a lot with very, very heavy products to try to keep that moisture, before I really understood what the proper delivery system for moisture is for my hair. So again,
yes, I can relate to putting several products in your hair and feeling way down for sure. Yeah. And Chubby Curls solves that, because I can put Chubby Curls in my hair and I'm good. That's all I need. I just have to take a minute to say good morning to some of our viewers. Andrea, good morning. I love you. Daniel, good morning, ladies. Daniel Brown's on. Miriam, my daughter. Hi, Miriam. Love you. Thanks for tuning in, because she's, I think, at work, so she's cheating right now. Angela, looks like this might be one of your friends, Manushka. She says,
yes, Angela Wells. She's the owner of Serene Naturals, an amazing line of hair and skin products that are vegan. So if you're really into making sure that what you put on your hair and on your skin is all natural, and want to take it to the next level, want to make sure it's vegan, check out serenenaturals.com.
Yes, and Angela's on the link, or she's on the she comments, so you can tap into her. And she says you're always an inspiration, by the way.
Thank you, BB.
Kyla, good morning. Kyla's on. And Kyla says research is imperative when it comes to your business. Absolutely. I think research up front, like you mentioned, and you emphasized, it's a lot, but if you do the upfront work, you won't have to worry on the back end, whereas you'll have to go backwards if you don't do the research. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, probably the most important thing that I researched, in addition to wanting to make sure that I have this balance of, natural ingredients that are beneficial to our hair, avoiding drying ingredients, avoiding cheap fillers, the preservative, is the most important thing, because a lot of the articles that I had read, a lot of the research that I had done, talked about, the bacteria that can grow in these environments. I mean, you take a jar with, moisture, and you can have all kinds of bacteria and molds and things that can find a really ideal space for growth. And we want none of that. We want chubby curls. We don't want fuzzy or furry curls. So that was the most important thing to me. I mean, when I'm mixing my batches, I have this checklist, and I make sure that, preservative is literally at the top of the checklist, because I absolutely cannot, we just can't have that. We can't have where someone purchases this product and then a month later, they crack it open and something greets them that is just not, that's fuzzy and not cute.
And that's what speaks to me about your products personally, is that the care and the value that your product, I mean, you definitely get what you pay for. You know that when you're purchasing Chubby Curls, or at least in my experience, I'm getting what I pay for. And you've put just a lot of care and love and time and attention to it.
I hand make, melt, mix, blend, package, label every product. If any of you have ever bought Chubby Curls, I have made that product with so much love, because Chubby Curls, it's my love letter to natural hair. I just feel like our hair has been so maligned for so long that I'm over it. I'm over it. And I was a part of it as well. I had bought into it. I had bought into the idea that our hair is not beautiful, that our hair cannot do, amazing things, that our hair isn't versatile, that our hair is, unprofessional. If you go to a job interview, you've got to straighten it, because, and if you feel that way, then that's the way that you feel. I have changed my outlook on that. And I feel like it's not necessary. It's fun to do. Sure, I straighten my hair now since I've been natural, but I no longer feel that in order for me to secure a job, or in order for me to look professional or more attractive, that my hair needs to be straight in order to achieve that look, in order to make me feel good. What's important for me is I don't hair shame. If you're relaxed, as long as you feel beautiful, if you flat iron, as long as you feel beautiful, if you're natural, as long as you feel beautiful and your hair is healthy, that is where I want my natural community to be.
Absolutely. I second you on that. And I speak to so much of this personally, because I know Manushkka, I know her product. She, to me, is one of the pioneers in the community, so to speak. I know there was those before her, and I'm definitely not disrespecting them or not acknowledging them. But I know when Manushkka started going through her journey, she has definitely advocated for all women across the community, no matter what you decide for yourself. And that's what I love, is that you just want to empower others.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like when you educate women on natural hair, women with textured hair, particularly women in the Black and brown community, when you educate them, you empower them, and then it really helps them to uncover. My job is to help you uncover the beauty of your natural hair, to do a little bit of due diligence, see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You may do really well with, the very popular Jamaican castor oils, Haitian castor oils that we call the huile mascuti, but but someone else might be better off using grapeseed oil, or maybe coconut oil. Girl, do you remember when coconut oil was all the rage? I swear, coconut oil at one point would fix everything. Like it would fix your credit even, I feel. It was everywhere. And it was this panacea. Well, coconut oil just didn't work for me. And so it took me doing some research and some trial and error, playing around with different types of oils to learn that, okay, the best oil for me is sweet almond oil. That's the sweet spot for my hair, pun intended. So, you know, helping women to learn what works for them so that they can take that information and then move forward in their regimen so they have a healthy hair regimen, so they're happy with their results. Once they get that regimen and a technique that works for them, then that's a sweet spot. That's what brings me so much joy when I see that light bulb go off, when a person says, oh, you know, I didn't know this, or I was doing something else, let me try it this way. And then they come back and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, you know, all I had to do was, you know, change this particular ingredient that I was using, and now my hair is, I love it. So that for me, that is my life's joy. That's my life's work. That is what fills my soul.
And I know it personally because I've seen you in action. And speaking of joy, we've got Ebony, she's on, and she says, Chubby Curls is Manushkka packaged to the world in a bottle.
I love it. I'm so going to use that, Ebony. Thank you.
Good morning, Ebony. Thanks for joining. And Ebony wants us to know she's having a watch party with our live segment. And so we can't see a lot of her comments that she has in the watch party. But shout out to Ebony, because you are always supportive and always just down for anything and always just spreading the word. So we appreciate it. And Christian, good morning, Christian. He was my guest last week. Welcome. I'm glad you're here with us today. He says, I use Chubby Curls. It's for men too. And yes, that is true.
Absolutely. Chubby Curls is for men, especially this slips right through my fingers leave-in conditioner. Gentlemen, if you are part of the beard gang, especially if you are part of the beard gang, you definitely want this in your life. It's a super lightweight, super hydrating formula. You just slap it on your beard, and I promise you, it will make it soft. It will make it moisturized. It helps your natural curl pattern to pop, but it will really, really do a great job softening your beards. So shout out to my beard gang, Brandon Pryor and Jason McBride. They're always giving me love with the Chubby Curls. And I see actually Daniel has a question about his daughter going to beginning the natural hair stage, the natural hair journey. And I would love to talk to you about, you know, helping your daughter and yeah, creating a master class for Chubby Curls. I think that's actually a great idea. So I can put together something where people who are transitioning, women who are, in fact, I just got a message right before we began, Jessica, and you kind of heard me saying, oh my gosh, I was so excited because a girlfriend of mine, she decided that she and her daughter are going to go ahead and begin transitioning to the natural process. And that's the hardest part. I will tell you, there is nothing that is more of a test of will than transitioning to natural hair, especially after having been, you know, with straight hair, with relaxed hair for so long. It challenged me to see myself differently. It challenged me to be what I feel like, to see my authentic self and to love that self and to put away that constant chase. I just felt like when I was relaxing my hair, again, this is just my experience, but I felt like when I was relaxing my hair every 2 to 3 months, I was kind of chasing this goal that I would never achieve because, you know, eventually it grows out and then your roots begin to show and then, you know, the texture changes. And for me, it was a very frustrating exercise. I felt like a hamster on a wheel, but also my hair was very damaged. And as someone who has always, throughout my entire life, always taken very good care of my hair, I didn't understand why it was getting thinner and thinner and stringier and more limp. And so to really change my look, because our look is how we present ourselves in the world. And if you don't feel good about how you present yourself in the world, you know, cutting off all my hair and then having this very different texture, a very different look from what I was accustomed to. It was a really, really hard challenge. And it was really a great opportunity for self-introspection. And so, you know, again, no hair shaming, do whatever makes you feel good. And for me, it made me feel better once I was done grappling with the self-esteem issues, because I'll honestly tell you, when I first went natural, I didn't feel attractive. I didn't feel the self-confidence that I normally felt. It really was a challenge to my self-confidence. But once I began to understand my hair better, then it was all good.
And if I
And
could just add to that, I know what matters is your self-confidence and how you feel, but I just want to say, I think I can speak for everybody that's watching or not watching. You are so beautiful no matter what you do. You're one of those friends who every time someone sees you on the internet or something, they're always like telling me, oh my God, your friend Manushka is so beautiful. She's so gorgeous.
Oh,
So
thank
I just have to
you.
say that you're beautiful inside and out. So whatever you do is going to work as far as I'm concerned.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I really, when I tell you, it's not hyperbole. I put my heart and my soul into Chubby Curls, into every product, into every bottle.
Yes, we can tell. We know you do. So before we get out of here, I just want to make sure that we get your contact information so that I can put it in the comments, and those that are watching know where to get your product, how to get in touch with you if they have questions or concerns about their hair, or daughter's hair, cousin's hair, niece's hair, and the men too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can find me at www.chubbycurls.com. So Chubby Curls, all one word, curls is plural. And on Instagram, I'm chubby_curls, as well as Twitter, chubby_curls. On Facebook, then it's facebook.com/Chubby Curls. If you want to email me, info@chubbycurls.com. If you want to call me or text me, that's really the best way to get in contact with me, especially if you have hair questions or if you want to set up a consultation. I'm happy to do a consultations. It's 720-663.
All right. Hold on real quick. 720. I'm trying to type everything in the comments. 720.
That's all right. 663. 1143.
All right. Got it in there.
Yeah, and actually, what's really exciting is we are creeping up on the 5-year anniversary of Chubby Curls.
Woohoo!
So, to that end, I have a challenge for our viewers. So, if you subscribe to Jessica Spring's YouTube channel, there are a few Jessica Springs out there, not too many, but just so you don't get them confused, look for the beautiful Jess that you see right here. And you'll see the blue and purple banner that says Jessica Springs, and you'll see the thumbnails for previous Takeover Tuesday interviews. The next 5 people that subscribe to Jessica's YouTube channel are going to get 15% off their next Chubby Curls purchase. So once you subscribe, Jessica's going to send me the information, and I will go ahead and send you the coupon code. So the next 5 people that subscribe to Jessica's YouTube channel, Jessica Springs, SPRINGS, you're going to get 15% off of your next Chubby Curls purchase. And stay tuned for more promotions, for more exciting things that we have in the hopper for the Chubby Curls anniversary.
Thank you, Manushka. This is a win-win. I mean, who can deny that? 15% off of Chubby Curls. And
15, 15, 1-5. I just want to make sure that we understand that we're clear.
15. Yes, 15. I said yes. Probably can't hear me correctly. 15%. And if you go to my page, you can view past guests. So we have just launched the YouTube page so that you can re-watch these videos or watch them for the first time and share them with friends so that they can spread the word with community members and business owners such as Manushka. So Manushka, thank you so much. And I could go on and on with you forever about so many things. Unfortunately, our time is up, and I would just like to, as I do every time, thank our frontline workers, thank our nurses, doctors, everybody at the grocery stores, our bank tellers, you know, customer service, everybody, because without all of us keeping this going, you know, it would be really tough to keep all this going during these rough times without all of us. And I know each one of us plays our own part in this. And if you're staying at home still and doing the safer at home, thank you as well, because that's a piece, that's a part of doing our part to help this situation that we're going through. Any final
Yes,
words?
absolutely. I just want to echo that. You know, I hope that all of your people, your family, your friends, your community are safe in the midst of COVID. I hope you're sheltering and safe at home. I know that it's a luxury not afforded to a lot of people that, you know, don't have the luxury of safe places to shelter in, and access to the resources that we sometimes take for granted. So just want to sort of, you know, send my love to everyone out there, especially the frontline workers, especially the grocery store workers, the postal service. Without the U.S. Postal Service, Chubby Curls doesn't get delivered because I have now do scheduled pickups. I no longer go to the post office. So just wanted to say thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Manushka, for joining us. Until next week, take care and stay inspired. We'll see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m.